Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. This morning things are different. We can say good morning to each other like this.
Yeah, we've done that already,
Yes,
by the
we've
way.
done that.
If we haven't done it by now, there would have been problems.
So happy Monday. We hope that your week ahead is good. So we are starting off this morning with other problems with shipping. South Africa, our ports, Cape Town, we spoke about that quite extensively on Friday. And now it says, this is Fresh Plaza, it says perfect market for South Africa, whose route to Europe remains open. So this refers to the issues that are ongoing in the Red Sea at the moment.
And look, we have not spoken much about that, but you have followed it a little bit. What is the issue there?
There seems to be problems in that ships are being attacked by people, by forces along the edges of the Red Sea, who are actually shooting at the trade ships coming past.
Now, is this pirates or not?
I don't know enough to answer that question, but I do know that they've identified people called the Houthis. I don't know who they are. I know
Houthi and the Blowfish.
No, it connects with the sea, but I don't think quite like that. Anyway, and the problem is that it is disrupting the flow of trade through the Red Sea. I saw a map somewhere on LinkedIn of, the map that shows where the ships are going.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And suddenly where the ships aren't going, and suddenly the route around Cape Town, which we've all learned as children when we had to learn history and geography, was we are so important, strategically placed at the tip of Africa because it's a trade route. That was very true until the Suez Canal opened. And now with these problems, a lot of ships are having to come past Cape Town again. But now Cape Town, we all know about the problems with the port. So is that not ironic?
Yes. So it's like people say there's a silver lining in this. It's like the ones in Afrikaans is saying the een se dood is the ander se brood. The one's death is the other one's advantage. Or
yes.
Nice direct translation. But anyway, yes, there's a lot of ships coming, but if we can't get the fruit and the containers onto the ships, it doesn't help much.
No.
And with that, it says that the markets are going to be empty in Europe, so prices will be good, and there will be a demand for fresh produce coming from South Africa. Yeah. But we need to get the stuff there still.
It says here there's a paragraph that about the Red Sea issue that says those countries could run short of fruit. It's that comments made by clients in the Middle East that South Africans' pro-Palestinian stance, that's another can of worms, is winning the country friends in the Arab world. These countries could run short of fruit, he says, adding, even in Europe, you're going to see periods where there's hardly any fruit on the shelves. And this is an article about the issues in the Red Sea, not about our issues in the Cape Town Harbour. So it's compounding things. All of this is happening at the same time.
Also, a couple of paragraphs further down, and says the perils of the Red Sea and the drying Panama Canal offers a silver lining for South African fruit exports. Opinions.
A shipping agent on condition of anonymity. So
because that means that the fruit coming from South America, Chile, Peru, also can't go through the Panama Canal to get to Europe,
which will get shipped out of the Pacific side of South America.
Yes. And if it's got to go to Europe, it's got to go a long way along the earth, past South Africa anyway.
So currently, geography is busy defeating trade in some way, and there's a little bit of politics happening as well. So I think to wrap this up, the discussion is that trade is being challenged from climate change with the issue at the Panama Canal, politics with the issue with the Red Sea, and logistics and, the problems that we've discussed at the Port of Cape Town we know about that and we've discussed that. So things are not, excuse the expression, are not smooth sailing.
Yeah. Okay, so another thing that we've spoken about a couple of times is end of last year, Kenya banned all the exports of avocados from them because people were selling unripe avocados into the market in the Middle East, predominantly, if I remember correct. And then we had a discussion last week about the farm where the people were killed. What was it?
Del Monte.
Del Monte, yes. And we spoke about the fact that we don't know. They said that there are organized crime cartels stealing fruit, but now something else has popped up. In Tanzania authorities intercept unripe avocado haul from Kenya. 4 lorries loaded with 32 tons of immature avocados from Kenya were recently seized by Tanzanian regulatory authorities. The issue was brought to light by Dr. Jacqueline Nkindi, CEO of the Tanzania Horticultural Association, who reached out to Agriculture Minister Hussein Bashir. Nkindi represented condemned the illegal smuggling of unripe avocados. So they picked this up at the border. In a post, McKinney applauded the Tanzanian Plant Health and Pesticide Authority for their vigilance, while also urging Tanzania and Kenya to penalize those involved in these unlawful activities. She further noted that the start of the purchasing season in Njombe, located in Tanzania's southern plateaus, bring high expectation of significant earnings for farmers. Okay, so that's quite interesting. Let's just finish. The illicit avocado consignment was intercepted by officials stationed at the border as it was being transported by road. So that is the thing. So it looks like people were shipping avocados out of Kenya to this Njombe, located in Tanzania, where buyers would probably come and buy fruit from. That's how I understand it?
Yes, and the point is, yet again, this is happening despite the fact that there's legislation in place for avocados out of Kenya not to be shipped immaturely. And
this is probably why they are probably doing this, because they can't export the stuff or get it out of the harbors.
Yeah. So immature avos, it's obviously a problem that's popping up in Kenya, and the authorities will have to find a way of dealing with that.
But now the problem is it's 32 tons. So if it's 4 lorries loaded, obviously not big interlinks, it's probably stashed in between whatever was on the lorries. But the problem now, there's 32 tons of fruit being wasted, because you can't do anything with immature avos.
No. And someone was taking a chance, and yes, so here's a problem. There's a problem, and it's sticking out its head in several places, and the Kenyans will have to find ways of dealing with this.
Okay, so then onto a little bit of good news closer to home. When did you do this, Louise?
Oh, yes, this was a very interesting article that I completed last week. We completed this article about plant genetics. It's the license holder for the Volcani Institute in South Africa, has come under the full ownership of Deno Holdings. The Volcani Grape Institute was established in 1921 and is Israel's national agricultural research organization, which they shortened to ARO, the driving force behind Israel's internationally acclaimed agricultural innovation. So long and short of it is, in addition to the South African license holder, the Volcani Institute, if you would go up a little bit, I was just reading there, the Volcani Institute also has license holders in several other international countries. So the Volcani Institute has been in South Africa for about 30 years, but things have changed recently in that plant genetics, which is the holder of the license in South Africa, as now it's changed, and it's now the ownership has moved to Deno Holdings, which is is a division or part of Growers by Nature, the export company, which is exporting fruit from South Africa. And Deno Holdings and this breeding program, the ARO breeding program, is now under the auspices of Growers by Nature. So the table grape genetics breeding program are characterized by their early ripening as well as their medium to high rain resistance, both desirable attributes for table grape production in South Africa. And I had the opportunity to see this breeding program, which no one has really been talking about for quite a long time, to see that they've got some very promising new varieties, or varieties that are being evaluated and released. And the one that I saw on the vineyards, this one here, is called Exotic Pearl. It's a beautiful grape. I had the opportunity to photograph it and to taste it, and it has a slight lychee flavor, which is really interesting. So it was not only nice to do this article, but to learn something along the way. And it's always good when a bit of grape or fruit tasting is involved. So congratulations to Dano Holdings for taking over this program from the previous grouping at Hoekstra Farms. Following the company's establishment in 2011, Hoekstra Farms, under the guidance of the late Ut Hoekstra, was the main evaluator and custodian of the Volcani Group's varieties at Paarl. But now the company Dano Holdings has taken full ownership and management of plant genetics and the Volcani Institute's ARA table grape varieties in South Africa. So we produced this article, and it was published last week in Fresh Plaza. So it's nice to see our work in Fresh Plaza as well.
Cool. Okay, then the last interesting thing,
and this is very cool actually. Tech, always exciting.
Yes. John Deere and SpaceX announce a Starlink deal. Okay, I had a brief read through the article, but what it basically boils down to, oh wait, let me just put it up on the screen. There we go. What it basically boils down to is that John Deere tractors will be equipped with Starlink capabilities, meaning that wherever they are in the world, they will be connected to the internet. And this is massive, because as we all know, that most agricultural places are in rural areas where internet connectivity is an issue in most places. So unless you make a plan of some sort, put signal boosters up, or get the cellular networks to install a tower on your farm, you're pretty much left over to your own defenses. But now you can literally start up your tractor in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and you could have full speed internet connectivity. The good thing about this is that it says here that these things will be talking to each other. So obviously also with the geo stations where a lot of the tractors are run by satellite and GPS, this will just be an added thing to that. And where is that part where it says that the
self-propeller solutions.
Yes, this will enable autonomy. Those autonomous tractors are coming. Real-time data sharing. So what is happening on your neighbor's farm? How's he doing? Remote diagnostics. Obviously, weather will also will be involved in this. Enhanced self-repair solutions. So now you don't need to phone an agent anymore to get in his car and drive hundreds of kilometers to your farm to come and fix your tractor. And it's a simple thing. You can have it done over the internet. And machine-to-machine communication. Obviously, if you've got a fleet of machines, they can
talk to each other.
Yeah, I think that will be freaking cool.
Well, we get into rural areas a lot. And, it's a bit like, you can have the state-of-the-art equipment, but if it's not connecting to the internet, it's a bit like having a Porsche in the jungle. So the fact is that suddenly these amazing machines can be working from somewhere extremely remote, and that it's a complete game changer, because until now the problem has always been the internet connectivity and the Wi-Fi, and this is a big deal, and it's very exciting. So watch the space.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this morning in terms of news.
Yes, it's nice for us to be able to do our live from the same office for a change. And it's a start of an exciting new week. And we wish you well. Hope you have a good week.
All right.
Bye.
Cheerio.